recording live in the studios of Brewery Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Bread production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey, welcome back to the Mike Weatherford Show. I'm your host, Mike Weatherford. Have you ever wondered what it's like to travel the world in the country, helping other people, find out about other cultures? I have. I know you have too. Cuba, maybe Thailand, maybe Australia. Who knows? We got some guests tonight that does that. It's called Global Citizens Adventure Corps. They take younger people, and I think adults too, and they introduce you to different cultures and different countries around the world. We're going to talk with them tonight and find out what it's about, how it started, where it's going, and how maybe you and I can get on there and go with them. That'd be pretty cool. But in the meantime, I've got the one and only, the infamous Mr. Pepsi himself, Ricky Price. Welcome to the show, Rick.
Mike, it's always a pleasure, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
I'm finer than frog hair split three-way.
I'm looking forward to this show tonight. It's going to be very interesting tonight.
It is interesting.
I think for the viewers just to listen in about this and just don't stay in Weekly, Carroll, or Henry County sometime. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's find out what the world's about. Yeah, let's find out. You know, like I was saying earlier, people get along.
That's right.
It's governments that don't get along.
That's true.
That's where it all starts. Is governments do not get along, but people can get along.
That's correct.
You ready to get on this train? Let's ride, brother.
That's right. Let's get on it.
All right. Like I said, folks, we're going to be talking about Global Citizens Adventure Corps, and I got two ladies here. I believe they are the founders and CEO of his organization, and I want to introduce to you first, in no particular order, Miss Julie Hill. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
How are you doing, young lady?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
I'm proud to have you on board. And I think your protege, or your partner in crime is what I would call her, Miss Stacie Freeman. Welcome to the show, Stacie.
Hey, Mike.
How are you doing, girl?
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
I'm glad to have you come on.
We are glad to be here.
All righty. So Global Citizens Adventure Corps. Y'all just pick up. What is that? What? Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we met each other about, three years ago and had a whole lot in common. We were soul sisters. We had never met each other, but then suddenly realized we had everything in common. But we had both been taking students around the world and exposing them to other cultures. And our elevator pitch is just helping kids get out of their zip codes, especially ones who can't afford to do so on their own. And we both had a real calling to do that and decided to combine forces. And 3 years later, Global Citizen Adventure Corps is about to be a 3-year-old 501c3.
Well, that's great. So you take people that's lower income or can't afford to go?
That's why we formed the nonprofit side of this, because we raise money for scholarships to help students specifically that can't afford to go. But we welcome anyone, people with, Ricky's traveling with us next year to Ireland and Scotland. So community members.
Kilt?
Oh, you know I do.
All right. I got
I'll
to see all
you a
that.
picture, okay?
Yeah, I got to have a picture. Don't bend over, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Visual.
Yeah, visual.
Visual. Okay. All right, listeners. Boy, they'll take bets on that one. They'll get you some money. This will get you some money for a scholarship. Probably.
Yeah. If you get a
Fundraiser
picture
idea.
of Ricky in a kilt, that's worth $100 for the Mike Weatherford Show. Just a donation just to get Ricky in a kilt.
All right, Tater Hayes, stay away from me.
Okay. But I'm sorry. But when you said you're taking Ricky, and I'm sure Donna, his wife's going, to Ireland and Scotland, but the first thing come to my mind is kilts. I mean, I don't know. Did they wear them there?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I win, I'd wear a kilt.
Yeah, I would too.
I would too. I'd strut it, dude. I'd be popping around
Everybody
there.
know us over there, right?
That's right. They would and we left. But I'm so sorry. But anyway, so you take children that probably wouldn't have any other way to travel the world, and you do it through nonprofit. How do you raise money for this?
We raise money specifically through donors who feel strongly in travel and service learning, which is another aspect to what we do that we can get to. But we're not quite 3 years old yet, so we don't qualify as easily for federal grants right now. So we really take donors like Ricky, who's sitting right in front of me, and people who feel strongly in the power of travel and education, and we're able to piece together some nice scholarships.
Great.
And when we say children, it's really, we generally take juniors and seniors in high school and university students of any age, even non-traditional students. So we've taken plenty of adults who've gone back to school. As long as they're a student of any kind, any age, they can qualify for a scholarship.
Oh, okay. If I wanted to go.
No scholarship, but you're welcome to go.
Okay, I had to pay my own way.
Yeah.
You have to pay your way.
Do I have to work when I get there?
It's possible.
Digging
It's
wells?
optional. It's optional.
Right, that's pretty cool.
Scholarship recipients do have to do the service.
There's the sheriff of Henry County, Josh Fry. His church goes. They just got back from Africa, I think, last year, and he's going back helping African over there. He has some pretty cool pictures and showed me some video. Is that kind of same? Do you help the communities when you get there?
We actually do volunteer on most of our programs. And one of the things that's unique about our program is that we go into the community and we ask them, what would you like help with? How can we help you? So we don't go in with the answers.
Right.
We go in with questions.
Do we go to undeveloped nations?
We do.
So we don't go to somewhere like Britain that maybe don't need any,
We do have some more traditional study abroad opportunities. In fact, I just got back from Paris, France.
Really? Yeah, that's cool.
I took 22 folks over there for spring break.
Well, what did y'all do there?
Oh, gosh. We ate lots of croissants,
Right.
and we toured the Louvre. So
Did they have any biscuits and gravy?
if they did, we didn't eat them.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We did not order the biscuits and gravy.
Fat boy got to have some biscuits and gravy. Go ahead.
We did have one of the world's largest croissants.
Those were
it was
huge.
about
Really?
this big, yes. So that is their equivalent of
biscuit
the
and gravy.
biscuits
All
and
right.
gravy. Yeah, we had crepes. So they got to do all sorts of things. They climbed the Eiffel Tower. They visited the Louvre. We got to see Notre Dame since it's been restored, which was
man.
fantastic. We could take a Seine River cruise. We went out to Versailles. We toured the beaches of Normandy.
That's what I'd like to see.
was-
When you said climb the Eiffel Tower, I thought of World War II. When, Hitler was on top of
Yes.
that when he conquered. But y'all got to go to Normandy and
We
see all
did.
that. Did
We-
you go to the cemetery? And
We
see-
did. We did.
Damn,
We spent
man.
a whole day out there. And with local guides. And so
Yeah.
it was really, really educational, really
Yeah.
interesting. So that was not a program where we volunteered. It was more of a traditional study abroad opportunity for our students and travelers.
How
we
was
often
it?
do.
Excuse me. How old was the children that you carried with you, the 22? What was their average age? Was it older people?
You know what's interesting about that is that we had college students. About half of our travelers were college students from Bethel University, and the other half were Bethel alumni, supporters, friends, family members. I think our oldest traveler was in his 80s.
What is y'all's goal? When you say, it's a two-pronged question here, I guess is what I should have said. What makes you decide where you're going, and what makes you decide what you're going to do when you get there? Do y'all do a lot of homework, figuring out where
Yes.
y'all are needed, or what do you think the students need to see, or the grown-ups?
It's a little bit of all the above, actually. So our history is in Central and South America. That is where
Gotcha.
we've spent most of our time traveling. And there are a lot of reasons for that. One, the need is greater there. I mean, it's like you said, we can't volunteer much at Disney World. So we do tend to gravitate
Whereabouts
towards
in
Central and South America.
do you go? South
Our
America.
most visited country is Costa Rica. I think I've been to Costa Rica 22 times.
Well, I thought they was doing well in
They
Belize,
are doing well.
Costa Rica.
They are doing well. Costa Rica is one of the most peaceful nations on earth. They don't even have a standing army. They invest all of their money in healthcare and
Is
education.
crime really low?
Really low.
I see, on Facebook, if you ever type in anything, I don't care what you type in, when you turn on Facebook, it's going to be there.
Yep.
And I was typing in word of retard around the world, and that keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Except those fer-de-lance snakes. You heard of them?
I've seen one.
You seen
I
one?
almost stepped on
Oh,
one.
hell no, I ain't going. It all looked good. The crime was low. The rent was good. I
Yep.
thought, it'd be a good place to go hang out.
It
So they talk
is.
about those damn snakes. I ain't going.
It's a great place to hang out. But let me tell you what happens in Costa
You
Rica.
almost stepped on a fer-de-lance.
I did.
That's
I
the
was-
deadliest, one of the deadliest in the world.
In the world, yes. I was out one night taking a jungle hike and almost stepped right on top of it. So
Really?
Yep.
Did you pee a little?
No.
Oh, I would. Them things are deadly. I mean, it's not like a darn rat
No,
snake. Them
no,
things will
I
kill you.
Didn't pee even a little.
I would a lot. I'm sorry. That's
But
probably a
okay.
bad thing
No,
to say.
but that's interesting that you mentioned the fer de lance because the animals are the reason we go to Costa Rica. What people don't know is that we're all aware of human trafficking, and we're aware of gun trafficking, and we're aware of like drug trafficking, but people don't realize that the fourth largest trafficking issue is animals.
It is.
And Costa Rica is one of the most biodiverse places on earth. And so the rescue centers where we volunteer, what they're doing is rescuing these exotic animals from the illegal wildlife trade, which is one of the UN Sustainable Development
Do they
goals that
sell
we
them in the
support.
States? Or is
They
it
do.
illegal?
Illegal.
What is some of the stuff that they...
Sloths are a big one. Monkeys.
Yes.
Yeah. But even within their own country, I mean, what happens is that people think little monkeys are cute, and they're not wrong. They are very cute, but then they grow up to be adult monkeys.
Yeah.
And they're rough, they're aggressive, they're hard to
Yeah.
take care of, they're expensive.
Yeah.
And so they have two options at that point: release them into the wild, which they're not ready for. They won't survive, or relinquish them to a
I'm kind
center.
of against all that stuff, bringing to the state, illegal, illegal. Because we got Florida full of those big snakes.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Those copper-headed rattlemoxes and everything down there. Those anacondas
Yep.
and all them. What are we doing? Them things don't belong in the Everglades.
They don't.
And so
No.
we need as a people, we need to educate. Look at them on TV or go to the zoo, but don't bring one home for
Right.
a pet.
Leave them in their habitat.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because a big part of that program in Costa Rica is education. So not only do we go to the Animal Rescue Center to help build habitats and clean cages and feed and help manage for the animals that have been rescued, we also go into the local elementary school and we teach those kids what an appropriate pet looks like.
Right.
And monkey and sloth are
one.
not on the list.
No, show 'em
Yes.
dogs and cats. But it is. Do you feel safe?
Absolutely.
Always.
I've traveled to 52 countries. I've never felt unsafe. The only, I almost stepped on a fer de lance.
Well,
But
I was going to say, how much? What the hell?
the only other
Just
time,
a fer de lance,
Yeah,
the
just
fourth
one.
deadliest snake in the world, and I didn't even pee. I just kept going.
The only other trouble I've ever had was in Ecuador. I was on a 4-day
Mm-hmm.
hike by myself doing the Quilatoa Loop. And there were some wild dogs on the trail, which I knew about before I left my hotel or my hostel.
Yeah.
So I was aware. I knew they were there. I knew what to do, and I was fine. But people, it's like you said, people have never caused me any
they
trouble.
won't. I didn't know if there was, Mexico, but you're further south than Mexico. You get in El Salvador, when you get down below the peninsula right there, it's kind of a different world. They could kidnap you for ransom, but I don't think it's down in that area is like that, is it?
No.
There's no place that we go that has any
Y'all
of,
go-
any of those issues. I mean, there's scary places here.
Everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell, there is.
so-
I grew up in one, West Paris. I mean, nobody wants to go over there now. I do. and that's my
Down
home.
Washington Street.
Yeah, I live in Hyco now. I live out there, so nobody wants to come to Hyco. Where Mike lives. But when you get to these areas, do you see a lot of poor? I mean,
Yes.
really?
Yep.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah, it's funny. We talk about American poor, and I like to know what the definition of poor is. You don't know, like Grenada. I've been to Grenada.
Yep.
Back in the day. It's you don't know what poor is till you go to these countries. I've never been where you've been talking about, but we keep hollering this country, America, the wealthiest, strongest country in the world. We got to do more for the poor. What the hell is poor? They don't know what. Go to them foreign, them
You're
undeveloped country, and you'll see what poor
Right.
is.
Well, when a kid walks up to you and says, sing for food,
Yeah.
or sing to you for food
Yeah.
or money,
Yeah.
that's when you realize that
Or if they all the clothes they wear is what we've sent down
there. That's
You'll
right.
see they'll have stuff that we don't want no more. Maybe old brand names. There's no wrong. That's what they wear in their shoes. And tell me a little bit about what you run into and what you do when you're there with your people you carry.
Well, I can give you a really good example of that, actually. Our Guatemala program, we partner with an organization called Sueños, and it is a school dedicated to educating children who work full-time. And when I say work full-time and when I say children, I'm talking about 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old little boys and girls who are working in the streets of Antigua selling trinkets, jewelry, souvenirs.
To feed the
Yeah.
family, or
To
are they
feed-
being enslaved?
No, they're feeding their family. They're working with their parents.
Family business.
Yes, this is a family business. And so Sueños came into existence to take those kids off of the streets and to put them in a classroom. And so one of the really cool things about GCAC and Bethel Global Studies is that we took a group of Gleason High School students down there. There were other participants, but I'm going to use Gleason as our example. Gleason High School students went down to Guatemala with me last year, October. and volunteered with Sueños. Now they've come home to Gleason, Tennessee, and just this week have shipped a truckload of school supplies back down to Guatemala to Sueños to support those kids. So it's like from Gleason to Guatemala.
That's cool.
We can make a difference.
So you made it. You made it.
You made an impact.
Yeah.
Made an impact.
And
That's right.
long-term impact.
And it's long term, yes.
But what is the problem with these countries not developing? Is it what do you see? Is it the governments?
Well,
It's complicated.
a 500-plus year history of slavery is the
Right.
start of it, and impoverished people for that long period of time. It's just a generational poverty.
But you're not wrong to point the finger at government.
It is, and that's why I was in Grenada for, because of the government down there. But I don't understand. I guess, and that's what I'm asking this question. It's not political. I'm not getting political, y'all.
No.
But the question I'm asking is, why don't these people stand up and say, enough's enough? Because that's what I seen was the people get along, that they love you. You go down there, the people like you, but the government don't trust you. They're afraid you're going to tell on them. That's what I can understand.
Yeah.
I guess the mindset's different.
I think the people have stood up plenty of times through the years,
They get sit down.
it's just a matter of the haves not sharing with the have-nots.
Maybe
in
we
such a
won't
way
ever
that
lose
they
our
can-
Second Amendment in this country. That's one thing I'm fighting for, our Second Amendment. But I wish you get a camera of one of my guys. He's out here working right in the middle of. Look at him, there he is.
This is free speech. It
There
was nothing
you go. I told y'all. There you go. Good job, Scott.
Well, let me give you an example of the people rising up and doing and standing up to power. I had a trip to a program in Ecuador a few years ago. It was going to be fantastic. In the days following up to the program launching, I probably had 15 or 20 folks from Bethel traveling with me. The indigenous population of that country decided they were tired of paying too much for gasoline. They blocked every major roadway in the country with spare tires, wood, anything, any trash they could find. They shut the entire country down. Our program was canceled.
Really?
And guess what happened to gas prices?
Well, some of them, it
They
went
went
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a good example. Some of them countries, they do that for roadblock. They'll block a road, and you got to pay ransom to get through. Do y'all run across some of that?
No, I've never run.
Y'all are looked at more like UN, maybe, I guess you could say. They compare y'all to here. You're the help. What do you find in those countries?
Well, something I was going to say just on the topic of resistance is it's not always physical protest in a way that shuts things down. Sometimes there's peaceful resistance that can be really effective too. And I'm taking a group. I've gone to Brazil more than any other country. I've taken a lot of groups there through the years. And we're going on May 22nd. We leave to take a Global Citizen Adventure Corps group. And one of the places that we'll volunteer with and just interact with culturally is a group called Yaya Mushima. It's a group of women percussionists there. And they're all black women, so all of African heritage. And the city where we are, Salvador de Bahia, is 90% black. So it's a city that is, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I mean, it's a city ensconced in its roots being slavery.
Right.
And the people there, it's beautiful what they do. It's a peaceful resistance through music and the arts. And so we'll see these beautiful exotic women drumming and singing and dancing and just captivating crowds of Europeans, of Americans, anyone who's there, and of locals. And the words to the songs are to instill pride in the people. The words and the dance moves teach the children of African heritage about their African ancestors. We see them practice dual religions, so they'll practice their African candomblé religion and also be Catholic at the same time. And so these are ways of practicing peaceful resistance and also instilling education in the next generation, which I think is a way of also standing up.
That's cool. Speaking
cool.
of that, my mother is Indian, and in Oklahoma, they have a lot of that dancing out there. And tourists come in to watch it. It's not protesting, but it's heritage.
Yes.
Yes.
And I kind of know what each thing means, being that's my heritage. But people that doesn't know it, Ricky, they'll see that and And I'll explain to them, this is about this is about that, this is about that. So I understand dancing and drums and all that goes on in our culture here in America.
Yes, and it's also a way, if it's dancing and drums that people like, it's a tourist attraction.
It is out there on
and
the
so
reservations.
then they're making money, and
It
they're
is.
also changing, their trajectory and changing generations because back to the money and the economic conversation.
Well, around in my area and my heritage, it's gambling casinos. That's what they do out there on the reservation. You made it when they got a gambling
That's
casino.
effective as well.
Ricky, so it sounds interesting, doesn't it?
It does, and again, you're getting out this country learning something.
Yeah.
You were never too old to learn.
That is exactly right.
Always.
And you're never too, and that's why I think it's important, for the listeners and viewers to say, never be afraid to ask a question. And you're probably getting some comments, people looking and says, how interesting.
Yeah.
And then when we first started talking, I was like, really? And then when she said the Cuba trip, which you done in January,
Yeah.
correct? And I just kept thinking, because I studied Cuba in my history book in the earlier days,
Havana was the place to go in the 20s and 30s.
It was.
That was the go-to. If you was in Havana, you made it. You
That's
was
exactly
somebody.
right. And listen, Havana is as beautiful today and all its decay.
They've had so much. What word am I trying to think? Y'all help me search. They've done to blockade or what word?
The blockade is what they
Yeah.
call it.
Embargo.
Yeah, the
Blockade.
That's
embargo.
what- embargo.
Yep.
That they don't have the. It's stuck in the 60s. They kind of got the 50s, and they got a lot of Russian influence on their cars, but they love old Chevrolets.
Yes.
Yeah.
50s and 50 model Chevrolets, they're everywhere. And you talk about people that's smart. Them people have got cars still running. We'd have junked. They figured out a way to keep them going.
Keep them going.
Yes,
The
it's
they're usually,
interesting.
the taxi cabs are usually them old cars.
Oh, there's tons of old cars.
Yeah.
And what's
Beautiful.
interesting is that the exterior is exactly what you described, but the interior may be a Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they figured out a way.
Yeah, because they figured out a way because they can't get parts. There for a while, I thought we was going to open up because Castro died, his brother. Maybe one day it will. I've always said this about every subject. We're in this old world together, and we got to keep our culture in our country, and they got to keep their cultures, and that's what makes the world. We can't expect them to change to our way. Neither can
That's
we.
right.
It
Their
makes
way.
it more interesting.
Go down there and see what
Yeah.
they've got going on. But how far south have y'all went in South America?
I think Brazil
with-
is probably the farthest. south.
Global Citizen Adventure Corps, probably Colombia, headed to Brazil soon, would be about as far south.
Brazil, Colombia, they're coming up. I mean, they're a big grain producer now.
yeah.
They do a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of grain. And they do poppy down there too.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal down there. I mean, it's true.
It is.
But the people,
Oh.
they're just like we are. They see you, they're friendly, they're nice, they invite you in their house, and I'm sure they do y'all the same way, and they're
Very
nice.
much.
And it's sad that they have to live maybe early 1900s is about their technology. I don't think they have nowhere near what we have here, do they?
You back to Cuba?
It depends on where we're talking
In
about.
South America.
Cuba,
Yeah.
well, it's surprising. South America can be actually very cosmopolitan,
Yeah, it can
depending
be
on where
really
you go.
modern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be very modern.
Well,
Yeah,
Argentina
Cuba's
at
stuck
one
in some
time
ways.
was a shining star in South America. Then they got communists and socialism come in, and it fell out. Is it coming back?
Are you talking about Venezuela?
Venezuela, yeah. What did I
Venezuela.
say? Argentina.
Argentina,
Well,
yeah.
same way in Argentina,
well,
though.
I'm actually getting ready to head to Argentina here in a few
wanna
days,
find
and
out.
so I'll come back and
We
we'll
was going to
discuss.
go dove hunting in Argentina. That's a big money maker for
Yep.
Argentina.
Wow.
Because they got a lot of doves down there, but something happened with the government. We all
Yeah.
decided not to
Not
go.
to go.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I've always wanted to go that area because they got cow. That's where your real cowboys
Oh,
come
listen.
from.
Right.
Yes.
It's really true down there.
Yep.
But y'all been overseas too.
Oh, yeah,
What
several
countries
times.
been over there?
Oh, goodness. Well, with GCAC, we have been
That
to...
stands for
that's
Global Citizen Advance Corps. Okay.
Global Citizen Adventure
Adventure
Corps,
Corps.
yes.
Adventure Corps. Yeah.
There you go, right there.
We got some pictures up here. Explain what
Oh,
we're looking at
excellent.
right
That's
here.
Cuba.
Yep, that's Cuba.
Really,
Yeah, that's in Vinales.
that's pretty cool.
So we were working with a group of musicians who were teaching students how to play different musical instruments. So it's a music school. We were working with a music school in Cuba.
My background is a percussionist,
Yeah.
so we got some of the music companies that work with me to go and
Great.
support. And
What are we looking at here?
these are some statistics from all of our programs to present. So how many travelers we've taken thus far, how many total programs, and this includes some of the upcoming programs, how many countries we've been to, scholarship dollars that have been presented, service hours and economic impact. There's a formula that's used in terms of how many volunteer hours and
Where's that impact in the countries? Or are you talking about
Yes.
here?
those
In our-
countries.
in our host countries.
Yes, in our host countries.
Is it expensive to get these? How many children on an average trip would y'all say you carry? People, not just
We have,
children.
our ideal is 15,
15.
but we've got 19 going
Right.
to Ireland and Scotland, and I'm continuing to recruit.
There's an airplane y'all got loaded up on.
Now,
your
those
head.
those folks are headed to Colombia.
Okay.
In fact, we have
We
a
have a
group in
group in
Colombia
Colombia.
right now, and this is our 10-year anniversary of volunteering at Colegio Americano in Cali, Colombia, which is a sister school to Bethel. People don't know we have a sister school there, but we do.
In Colombia?
In Colombia, South America.
Great.
Yep, we sure do.
What's the name of it?
It's Colegio Americano. And so, like, Bethel is an undergrad and a graduate institution. Colegio Americano is pre-K through high school. We have almost exactly the same number of students.
Great.
So we've got Bethel kids in Colombia right now volunteering.
Great.
Yes, I'm
What am I
living
looking at here?
vicariously. That is Guatemala. This
Yes,
is
that's in Guatemala.
Graceland Eves dancing in the square.
And it's a marimba band in the background. You can kind of see the wooden
Yeah.
marimbas there, and they were playing some traditional Guatemalan music, and we're having a big time.
So that's one of the things I'd like to point out is that in addition to volunteering, which we do plenty of, we do work on most of our programs.
Yeah, I
we
was
also
gonna
have
get
a
with
good
that.
time. We have fun.
Yeah, that's an
and
example.
we-
I'm going to show another
we
picture.
dance.
Then I'm going to show
Yeah.
some of the pictures after the break.
That's more work.
That's in
but
Costa Rica.
What are you doing right? This is Costa Rica.
That's at the
That's what
Animal
it-
Rescue
Is
Center.
that where the Fer de Lance was hanging out around that tree?
No, it was in a river near my
okay.
accommodations.
Damn it. What the hell? I wouldn't.
I knew that was coming.
Hey, but listen, I was with a local guide who very quickly saved my day. So
Yeah, we were
Always
building
travel with
some
local
it wasn't Mike.
sidewalks.
Mike couldn't have been the guy.
No.
You had to get him out of a tree.
You just seen this fat boy high step. I'd have done some dance that Michael Jackson would envy.
So this is a group of travelers from Memphis. The gentleman on the right is Pastor Juan Ship. He's in his 80s. His wife Judy's across from him, and then we have younger people that we had high school students that went as well. But mostly
where are you
from-
at here?
In Costa Rica,
Costa Rica.
at the Animal Rescue Center.
Okay.
And so we're putting in those stones, and because it's really rainy and can be quite muddy
Where's
there.
the money come from? Through donations to get there?
Yes, and we basically pay to have the opportunity to do this. So we pay for the supplies that are used, and we pay
How
for
do you
our
get them?
lunches.
How do you get them there? How do you get the supplies there? Do you carry
Oh
them?
We
no,
buy locally.
we give them the money and then they spend it locally.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yes.
so you don't ship in a lot of stuff. Okay. I
No,
got it.
no, nothing.
I'm gonna show us one more picture. And I'm gonna say the rest of them for after the break. What is she planting? A garden? Looks like.
No, she's fixing a fence to keep a boa constrictor from eating
Oh, hell.
macaws.
Yeah.
No, I took that picture, and so yeah.
A boa constrictor
Yes.
from doing what?
Yes. So the day before, a boa constrictor had they were rehabilitating scarlet macaws, those big,
I know.
and one had been eaten the day before, and it's a huge successful project there. They had
Well, I'm gonna
25.
I'm gonna tell you something, Julie. I'm not going with y'all when them Fer de Lances and them boa constrictors crawling around, and all they got's a fence. Oh hell no! No, I want a shotgun. You mean to
look at
tell
how
me
much
that
fun.
snakes are still crawling around after people, eating their stuff?
After birds, at least.
Jesus Christ,
I
man.
don't know about people there, but
Well, they had to.
That bird met the dust the day
okay.
before we got there.
Oh, I understand. So these people, are they living in the wilderness? Are they not? Are they living where there's still wildlife interactions like Fer de Lances? They have to get up and kick them out of their bedroom and stuff.
I've not known of anyone having to get up and kick one out of their bedroom, but yes, people are very much living with and in nature. And some of
I
the
mean, we do
places that
too out in the
visit.
country where I
Yes.
live, but I ain't. You know,
It's not
everyone.
much different. It's not much different.
It's not. There's city folks there, and
We
then
don't
there's
put up
also
fences to
country
keep the
folks.
snakes out in Hyco.
Well,
I live in a little town called Hyco up by Cottage Grove, and trust me, we ain't putting on no damn fences to keep no snakes out.
yeah, I think those 25 scarlet macaws are kind of little Scooby snacks. They're tempting to the,
Yeah,
they're
but
beckoning to the snakes.
My mind's blown.
It's tropical. I mean, it's tropical
That's
there.
what my question was.
Yes,
so they're
it's-
living right on the edge of the tropical.
Many of the places we go are quite tropical, and so we often slip in the mud and in the rain while
That'd
we're
be
repairing
cool,
things.
but I don't want to go with no snakes, dude. I mean, I'm an ex-prize fighter. I'm not scared of nothing, but that scares the crap out of me, a snake. My mother taught me when I was a kid, get out of them bushes, you get snake bit. My whole life I've heard that. And they say, well, Mike, I'm not scared of a snake unless I can see it. Well, I'm right opposite. I'm not scared till I see the damn thing. When I see a snake, I'm gone. I don't know why I'm like it. I'm scared of snakes. Does that make me a bad guy?
No.
But you just act like no big deal. How close was you to the furted lance?
I stepped right over it. I was pretty close.
Let
Did
me
he
make
do-
it clear: our student travelers
they
are
were
not
not.
near.
No, I understand
This
that.
is bad recruiting.
Yeah, I want to say that too. We're not going to get no recruits to go if we got to fight furted lances. But
Forget the snakes.
Jesus Christ. But the people's good, and everybody treats you good. You just got to carry a stick, whoop snakes out, right?
And not everywhere we go,
I
no.
understand. I'm making it funny because it does, it does sound interesting. But I like the part about you helping the locals.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying hard. Are they lazy?
Oh, absolutely
No.
not. No, they're
They
working
just
very
can't get
hard.
I just wonder, y'all are involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
I've always asked this question, maybe, why can't they get their economy developed down there? Do y'all know what's holding them back? Because we was like that one time in America,
Right.
What is holding their economy? There's something.
I think if you could think of someone in your community here that was having that same struggle, it would be the same issues.
But the whole country.
No,
basically.
I don't. Rarely do we have places where, I think our impression is that the whole country
Right,
is in
that's my
turmoil, but
impression.
it's not the reality. I mean, there are wealthy people in all these places that we go
Really,
as well.
so y'all are
There's
just basically seeing the underprivileged people. Is what
yeah,
you're
I mean,
doing to
there's a
help.
disparity in all these
Right.
places.
Okay, does the haves help the not haves?
Not enough.
Not as much as they should.
Not enough. Otherwise, there wouldn't be those issues.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. If there's
Yeah.
wealthy, like in our country, we're very generous. That's why y'all get to go, because America's a very generous
Right.
country. But they just don't do that. Or is it against their culture? Or?
No, I think there's just not enough of it to combat the
Gotcha.
generations of poverty.
So the ones that have money can't overcome the.
Can't
I got you.
overcome.
Okay, I understand.
The barriers are just too.
Yeah, too
They're
deep.
they're too many barriers.
It got to be. But you're learning, see, as you go down there, you're learning what they need. And I'm sure once y'all leave that country, y'all are not done with them. Y'all
No,
probably,
no.
reach out and try to help
We
by
do.
other means, get national sponsors maybe.
Right. In fact, I got an email yesterday from Sueños. They're hosting a quilt raffle as we speak, trying to raise money for the education they're providing to the little students there in Antigua. We are monthly donors to Sueños, and her request was that we help get word out that they're raffling off this quilt, to buy educational
They
supplies.
made it yourself?
Yeah,
What's
they
it
did.
made out of? Cotton? Like
Yes, just the same material that we would find
Well, you
quilts
should
made
have
out of
brought
here.
that. We would have told my viewers.
Well, you know what? We can post it.
Do that.
Yeah, I'll share that link with
Yeah,
you.
share that link. And
Yeah.
I'd like to, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, to raffle it off and win
That's what they're
something.
doing, yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
And I think it's important, Mike, to also mention, since we're talking about a lot of poverty, that not all wealth is monetary. There's a lot of cultural wealth, and
Yeah, cows and-
we learn a lot from the people that we are interacting with. It's not just us helping them; they are helping
Oh,
us. And,
yeah,
I mean,
definitely
it's
learn.
definitely. I mean, culturally, I can't imagine who we would be without all
Right.
these experiences, and
Yeah.
it just enriches our lives too.
And
so.
it does, and it makes you appreciate small things that we have
Yes.
here. Like, I don't know if y'all run into much non-clean water. I don't know if y'all run across stuff like that, but we waste more in America than most
So
countries
true.
do.
Yep.
Yeah. And we, look at our dumps; it's full
Yep.
of food,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
that's what's sad.
We talk about that, yeah, in
Talk about
sociology.
the
even.
plastic that's made here in
Oh,
the States.
that's interesting. Yes,
in Costa Rica.
A couple of things. One of the things to talk about waste is the food supply.
Yeah.
We throw away
That's what I'm
40% of our
saying, yeah,
food, and a
yeah.
lot of that's coming from the countries that we visit with our students. A lot of the
Say it again
a
now.
lot of the food that we throw away here in the U.S. is actually being taken out of the fields in the countries that we visit with our students.
Like
Imported
fruit.
to the States.
So it's
Pineapples,
imported.
Yeah.
Pineapples,
pineapples,
bananas, lots of vegetables, even some meat, Argentina, for instance, right? So it's like we're taking food out of the fields in countries where people are hungrier than we are.
We're paying for it.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we
And then we're
waste it.
throwing it away.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And on the other hand,
And the other crazy thing is that for years now, one of the projects that we work on in Costa Rica is beach cleanup, because the beaches, especially during certain times of the year, are just littered with plastic.
I'm not a far left liberal. I'm not. But plastics is going to be the downfall of this country. We got to have plastic. But that ocean is full of it, man.
It's
I
full.
hate it. It's sad. Why don't we
need
go
to
back
outlaw
to
it.
cardboard?
absolutely.
What is really sad is when you're with your students on a Costa Rican beach cleaning up the plastic, and you look at the label, and it has come from the United States
Sure
of
it will.
America.
Yeah, we're one of the largest. In China,
Yep.
in Japan.
Absolutely.
It comes all across the ocean.
Yep.
And it's sad that we we got to have plastics. I'm not saying, I want to make it perfectly clear, I'm not saying outlaw all plastic.
Right, yes.
But go back to glass bottles
Yep.
where you got a return on them. And what's wrong with going to McDonald's and getting your drink in a cardboard cup?
Yep.
Because it
Biodegradable.
leaks. Well, drink the damn thing faster if it leaks. Mine never leaks. I drink it.
You drink
right?
it.
I'm not going to sit there and hold it till the dang bottom rots out.
Right.
Then if it gets into the environment, it rots and goes away.
Exactly.
Everything's plastic, man. I mean, it's sad. I got to take a commercial
Okay.
break. We'll come right back. Ricky, we got a good, excellent giveaway tonight.
We're going to kick off summer.
Summertime's coming. Put that picture up. Let me tell you what we got coming up tonight. There you go. Pepsi Mid-America and Mug Root Beer. You know what's better? All you've got to have is ice cream to make you a root beer float. We're going to give you away a 12-pack of Mug Root Beer, an ice cream scoop, a Crush beach towel, and we're going to give you a cutting board to set your ice cream on while you're dipping it out. Summertime is among us, and who likes nothing better than a root beer float, Ricky?
I love them.
I love it. Y'all like root beer floats?
Yep.
They're wonderful. So all you got to do, third caller, Ricky?
Third caller.
Third caller, this number right here, and you'll win
Kick off summer.
Kickoff Summer from my friends at Pepsi Mid-America. So we're going to take a commercial break. We got to pay the bills, and we'll be right back.
Charter Senior Living, located at 350 Volunteer Drive, is a premier community for seniors interested in pursuing life, energy, and purpose. We have restaurant-style dining, life enrichment programs, social activities, local scheduled transportation, and a beauty salon. We show respect to our veterans with a wall of honor. Our mission at Charter Senior Living is to enhance the human spirit. For more information about Charter Senior Living, call us at 731-644-9680.
Is your tank on empty? Come to 54 Fuel Mart, located at 1213 A Westwood Street, for the best prices on gas. What about your other tank? You know, the one that is growling? 54 Fuel Mart has you covered for that as well. Check out our fried chicken, wings, pizza, and many other items to satisfy your hunger. On Tuesdays and Fridays, you really need to check out the fried fish. We also have a selection of freeze-dried candies, along with an entire aisle of candy bars and other sweets. Is it raining, or do you just not want to get out of the car? We have a drive-up window for your convenience. We also have dyed diesel for use in your tractors and other farm equipment. We have parking for big rigs, and our business hours are 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Feeling lucky? Well, do you? We have scratch-offs, and you can try your hand and the TN lottery while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart, located at the Westwood Y, Paris.
Chad Cox, PLLC, provides representation in the areas of criminal law, family law, personal injury, wills and probate law. Chad Cox serves Paris and the surrounding area. He does not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to representing his clients. He reviews every detail of your case to ensure that you receive an assessment that is specific to the unique circumstances in your case. Chad Cox is located at 104 North Brewer Street, Paris, Tennessee. Contact us at 731-642-4446.
Is this a normal sight around your house in the winter? Then when the hot summer sun comes around, is this something you see quite regularly too? If so, AccuAir is your answer. AccuAir serves all surrounding counties with top-notch HVAC techs to get you in the comfort that you deserve. Call Nathan or one of the highly skilled techs from AccuAir. AccuAir also offers BPU-approved financing for all your HVAC replacements. AccuAir is your #1 choice for all your heating and cooling.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Buckaloo reminding you to tune in to Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo live every Sunday night at 7:30 here from the Brewer Street Mafia Studios.
Don't forget, next week, right here on the Mike Weatherford Show, we got Hometown Heroes and Brewston Buzz. That's right. I've got the Veterans Council coming on with Ann Smith and Ronald Doc Taylor from the Unforgotten Motorcycle Club. They're going to be talking to us about what's going on during the Veterans Day ceremonies here in Henry County. So you don't want to miss that. Also, I got the Mayor Robert Keaton and Finance Director Annie Hand coming on. Guess what? It's Brewston in Maytime. You know, don't miss this show. We do one every year. We do a little community deal that tells you what's going on around our community. You don't want to miss this show. It's going to be a good one. I've got Ann Smith, Doc Tyler, Mayor Robert Keaton, and Anna Hand will come on. We're going to talk about the local veterans deals coming up in Veterans Day, and we're going to talk about Brewston in May. So don't miss it. It's coming up next week right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. Also, don't forget my sister show, Good Day Paris, every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook Live. They always got something exciting. You see in the picture, they've even had me on there. So, you know, it's got to be a good thing if they had me on there because, you know, either that or scratching the bottom. I don't know which one they was doing. But don't forget, Good Day Paris, every Thursday, Facebook Live. Don't forget the other show we got. Where do they get these names? H.K. Edgerton, co-founder of the Black Student Center at the University of Minnesota. He's coming on to the Tennessee Inform with Dave Vance. Could be talking to him about what happened when the mainstream narrative doesn't tell the whole story. Southern Truths, all a black Confederate speaks out. That's coming up Monday, May the 12th, right on Tennessee Informer, 7 p.m. That's going to be a very interesting show. And don't forget, Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo, Mother's Day special coming. It's got Kerry Jackson, Shannon Osborne, and Renee Laster is going to be live right here with a special Mother's Day show. Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo, Sundays at 7:30. Hey, while you're at it, go over and find him, like him, share him, run his numbers up. Hey, we're working on some big guests on this sports show. Don't miss. Jeremy's going to have some good guests coming up. So don't forget, Mother's Day special coming up this Sunday at 7:30. And don't forget, I am going to be the MC of Per Your Day, May the 17th, Tug of War, Ricky. I've got the Henry County Sheriff's Department. They're going to be tug of war with the City Police Department. The other group's going to be tug of war. Who's going to win? It's going to be Battle of the Badges coming up Per Your Day, May the 17th. I want to see you there. It starts at 12 noon. It's going to be a good show. Per Your Day, May the 17th, Per Your, Tennessee. Don't miss it. Between the Rivers, dinner on the grounds, fish fry, $15. Hey, I think Ricky's going to go to that. Brandon Springs over at LVL, Dover, Tennessee. It's $15 Southern fried catfish, husk baby coleslaw, white beans, drink, dessert. All you got to do is show up or call and get your ticket. Take out or dine in. It helps the friends of the LBL. So go get you a plate of good catfish. Enjoy it with your friends and see what our LBL's got in store for you. All right. Don't forget, we're simulcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, hell, we're everywhere. Just wherever you want to find me, you can find me. If you want to find me, I'm not hard to find. But look, do me a favor. When you're on Facebook or on YouTube, find a little button up in the corner that says follow or subscribe. Do like you go, pop that thing. Run the numbers up. Appreciate you tuning in. Have we got us a winner yet? I think we got a winner. Who we got on the line? Have we got one here? Uh-oh.
Yep, Zachary Burton.
Well, congratulations, Zachary. Do you like root beer floats?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we ain't going to give you the ice cream. It'll melt before you get it. So we just decided.
Yeah, it probably would.
It probably would. Ricky Price from Pepsi Mid-America. What do you think, Ricky? We got a winner already on that. Well, yeah, winner, chicken dinner. Hey, we're going to have to give a chicken dinner one day.
Well,
no, I'll eat that chicken dinner.
Well, I get it, man. I'll fight you over there.
Yeah, I like chicken dinner.
I get it.
What do you think, man? You get you a let me read here. Let me see here. You get you let me find.
There it is right there.
Mug root beer, a bag, a 12-pack of Mug root beer, Orange Crush beach towel, ice cream scoop, and a cutting board to set your ice cream on. How much better does it get than that, Zachary?
Oh, it gets no better than that.
All you got to do is get your ice cream of your choice and have you a root beer float coming up because summer's about on us. You know that.
I know, it is.
All right, Rick. I appreciate you calling in. What's your favorite talk show?
The Mike Weatherford Show. And before I let you go, I'd like to say thanks to Ricky Price of Pepsi Mid-America for helping us with Giving Day at WKCTC. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. More than welcome. That's what we like to do. We like to give back.
Pepsi does a good job of giving back. They really do. They're good people.
They are.
All right. Thanks for Zach. I appreciate you calling in, my friend.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. I've been sitting here talking with there we go, Julie Hill and Stacie Freeman from Global Citizens Adventure Corps. That's an organization that carries adults, college kids, high school kids around the world and teach them cultures and helps other areas that need a little help. Basically what we do, ain't it?
That's what we do.
What we do. What upcoming events y'all got coming?
Well, we've got some exciting programs coming up. We've mentioned a few of them already. We have the group in Colombia right now, and then we're going to Brazil soon after. And we have Merida, Mexico, and we're still taking applications for that for the next couple of days if there's anyone out there that would love to.
What does it cost? If I decided I wanted to go fight a snake in Brazil, what would it cost me?
Well, each program is a little bit different because we do try to keep the cost as low as possible.
Sure.
We have different costs for students. The community members pay a little bit more, and they subsidize a little bit of the students' cost.
We got something up here. Tell me what we got right here.
Ooh, upcoming
good
adventures
visual.
for 2025.
Oh.
One of the interesting things that we're doing at Global Citizen Adventure Corps is offering some domestic programs, which we didn't really have time to talk about it in this podcast, but Global Citizen Adventure Corps, like Julie said, is almost 3 years old, but the history of the organization is much older.
Right.
Bethel University Global Studies has been serving and learning nationally and internationally for many years, and that began in New Orleans right after Hurricane Katrina.
We're going to go to Mardi Gras?
So we're going back to where we started, back to our roots. Not quite Mardi Gras, October the 5th through the 10th, but we're taking the Amtrak down there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And
stop you right there. What would that cost if I wanted to go?
That one's about $1,850 or so.
$1,850, that's all?
For students, and about $2,300 for community members. And it's being led by Dr. Kyra Sanchez Clapper, who is a French historian and language professor.
If one of the viewers wanted to go, let's say, I'm going to use myself as an example.
Okay.
I wanted to come. I just say, all right, I want to go. I sign up, and then I pay my fees, and I get to ride with the Amtrak. Does it cover my expenses, or what does that?
Yes.
What does that money cover?
Yes, generally it covers everything. We advertise ourselves as an all-inclusive
Even the food
program.
Y'all feed us too for that money?
3 meals a day, all of your ground transportation, your airfare, your train tickets, your accommodations, your cultural activities. So anything that you and Dr. Sanchez Clapper would do on this program would be covered.
Is there stuff that you can do yourself while you're there? You got a little free time?
We always do some downtime.
Yep.
And I want to mention too, Mike, we make it easy because the deposit to hold your place is just 10% of the cost, and then we have no interest payment plans.
Right.
So, and the prices were
Go
actually
back, if you can, put that back up one
Yeah,
more time.
The
if you would.
prices were there. It's just the font is small.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't see. I'm blind in one eye. I can't hear out of the other. Costa Rica is $27.99. $2,800. That's not bad
It's
at
really
all.
not.
That's not really.
No, that's cheap.
And I'll tell
Mexico's
you-
$3,000. Is that what they said?
Yeah, that's $29.99.
Yeah, $3,000.
And it's going to be fantastic. Both of those, the Costa Rica program and the Mexico program, are going to be beautiful.
Do you fly in or you
Yes.
drive? Okay,
And the
so you
flights
land
are a
in
little
Mexico
more
City,
for certain places.
right? And so once you get it, you're going to Mexico City. I'm sure where you're going to land.
Actually, we're going to fly right into Merida. Mexico. So we'll fly into Merida, which is in the Yucatan.
I
Now, it's
know.
sort of interesting. You were talking about safety earlier.
Yeah.
One of the things the U.S. government does is it rates other countries based on their safety levels. So you've got level 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 is a no-go. The Yucatan in Mexico is a level 2, which is the equivalent of any city you'd find in Europe.
Right.
So we've got lots of people thinking that Mexico is dangerous.
Well, the news media, that sells newspapers. I don't pay attention to that.
Absolutely.
You
But
know,
it makes it hard for me to sell a program.
It does.
Because there are two things we have to overcome selling these programs.
Fear.
One is fear. Yep. Fear of the unknown,
Right.
fear of being out of your comfort zone. If it's not the students that are afraid, it's their parents.
Right.
The other thing is finances.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but you got a payment plan, so if you want to go in October, you can start making payments now.
Yes, and
So-
scholarships for students.
Right. So hold on a minute. This is very interesting to me. So let's say I wanted to go to Costa Rica and fight those fer-de-lance. You know, get up at midnight. Me and Stacie gonna run around out there in the woods at midnight chasing fer-de-lance. Put that back up one more time. I know they want to see my crazy face talk about this. It's only $2,800, and that's airfare and all, and my meals.
Yep.
For how long?
For a week.
A week.
Hell, I'll spend that going to the mountains in July.
You
Yeah.
absolutely will. In fact, some
Well,
of
I
these,
spent about $1,500 just on a damn
Yes.
motel. I'm on a cabin.
You will. You will.
So, this is for me, and I'm sure my audience wants to know. So, that money, and I get to Costa Rica. I've got a place to stay.
Yep.
Will it be in a motel or what will
You
it be?
actually have a beautiful place to stay that is owned by a dear friend of ours.
That's right.
In fact,
Okay.
several dear friends, Joel and Jeff Washburn and their wives, Teresa and Jennifer,
Right.
own the home where we are sort of our headquarters in Costa Rica, if you will.
So you get a bedroom.
You get very nice accommodations.
With the most beautiful view in the world.
You've
yeah.
got the Poas volcano on
Yeah.
one side and Costa Rican coffee country on the other.
You're in the clouds.
Yes, it
Really?
is spectacular. It's safe.
So who feeds you?
Well, we eat at home in the mornings.
You have to cook it, or somebody cook for us?
We have people come in and cook.
Great. We have bacon and eggs.
We have bacon and eggs.
Oh,
we
hell,
have
that sounded
beans
better
and
all the
rice.
time.
We got beans and rice.
Yeah.
And then we'll often have lunch with our partners at the Costa Rica Animal Rescue Center where we
Right.
volunteer. And then in the evenings, we'll go out to local restaurants. Our home base is located in Atenas, Costa Rica, which is probably the size of McKenzie. So it's a really authentic little Costa Rican town.
That sounds cool.
It's not the
So
postcard.
What will we be doing
It's
while
real.
we're there?
Seeing waterfalls and
yeah.
We'll be helping though. Doing what?
Yes, we'll be volunteering at the Animal Center.
at the rescue center that you've seen
Okay.
pictures
Do
of.
we have an idea what the work's going to be involved?
It's always a different project.
Yeah.
Sometimes we build
Habitats.
walls to
Yeah.
keep
It ain't
in.
like toting hay or digging ditches. It's not going to be
Well,
physical work.
Yes, it can be. I poured concrete one year. We poured sidewalks one year.
People
Yeah.
learn skills when they go to. They're
Well, I
like,
know
we're going to do
skills.
what?
Hell, I thought it was a vacation. That's a working
It's
vacation.
mostly a vacation, but
Right.
it
So
all
what-
involves fun and culture and a little bit of
And
service.
That's pretty
education.
cool, and you learn a lot.
You
Do
learn
we
a
have
lot.
any-
You really
They
do.
speak Spanish down there.
They do. And let me tell you something that's really interesting. One of the last trips that we took to Costa Rica,
got
we built a
pictures coming up.
habitat.
Go ahead.
And
Just hold that picture right there.
That's a Brewston group that went
That
to
is-
Costa
yeah.
Rica, and we
Yeah.
actually were in the Nicoya Peninsula, so the southern part on that program.
Go with your story there. Steve.
But what's interesting is that we were building a habitat for a macaw, I believe, a blue macaw that had been injured, and the supervisors of construction did not speak English.
Which
and
is pretty
our
common.
students did not speak good Spanish, only what they learned in high school, which was,
Yeah.
I mean,
High and by.
right, exactly.
How in the hell do you know what's going on?
It was amazing. They built the enclosure, taking instructions in Spanish. They did it.
I guess sign language.
Well, yeah.
Well,
know, that means
gestures,
nailing
body
it.
language,
Yes.
and kindness
Nail
works in
hard.
every
Did-
language.
Did we have somebody on guard at night looking for fer-de-lances? In the military, we had fire watch.
Where we stay in Atenas is on a mountaintop. I've never even seen a mosquito up
Great,
there.
that's
so
fine.
We
That
have
sounded
seen a
better.
sloth up there.
Yeah.
And some
That
toucans.
is so
Yeah.
cool. So cool. How's the transportation? How do you get around?
We have a
hire
private
people.
bus.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Go to bed, get up. What time do you leave out in the morning?
It depends. We start our days pretty early.
We usually are walking and asking any of the people that want to walk with us that
Yeah.
up on that mountain. We get our steps in starting
Yeah.
about 5:30
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah.
But that's
I ain't doing no
optional. That's
walking.
That's
optional.
optional.
Stacie and I always do it.
Our volunteer work starts around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So if I want to go there and jog, I can do that.
You could.
Or you could
Really?
sleep.
Yeah.
until we're
If I
ready
wanted
to
do
leave.
my 10-mile jog,
I'll tell you what
every
you could
day.
do. You could have coffee.
Oh yeah, I love. They got good coffee down there.
Listen,
fantastic.
The coffee in Costa Rica is worth flying for.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like coffee. I'm a coffee drinker now. I drink it.
Well, one of
That's
the things that we do in Costa Rica is we visit an organic coffee farm that's family owned. It's been in the same family for multiple
Can
generations.
you bring stuff back?
You can.
Is it pretty hard to get across?
It's very easy.
Really?
Yeah, very easy. So I bring back coffee.
Well, I need some of that coffee.
Okay, I've
Bring me
got
a
some at
bring me
home.
yeah, I want some of that coffee. That's good because I'm a coffee entrepreneur. I love coffee, so I like to know how their coffee tastes.
Well, you'd love Gabriel and you'd love his coffee farm, and it's such an interesting excursion. Very educational, and it actually surprised me when I added it to the itinerary. I thought the kids might not love it because it is so educational.
Yeah.
But they always come back and say that was one of their favorite days.
You know, everybody, especially you go through times in your life where you know everything. Then you go through a time where you don't know nothing. You go for a time where you're searching for answers. And children, if it's interesting to them, they want to know. They're learning. Especially on the coffee. I don't know how they do it. And they lay it out in the sun and dry it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They got some of them coffee somewhere bats eat the berries and poop them out and they make
I've
coffee.
had that.
You
It's
drink-
not bats. It's civet cats. It's a weasel. It's a civet.
What do they call it?
Civet coffee. I've had it a couple of times. I had it the first time in
This girl's
Vietnam.
wild.
She is.
Have you ever eaten bat crap coffee? Have you ever drank it?
I know the tapirs
I don't think
poop
it
out the
bothers me.
chocolate too. So
I've done that twice. Actually,
What?
it's some of the very best coffee I've ever had. The civet coffee. It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. But, I mean, what could possibly make it any better by straining?
I think there's something
It's
with
right
the
here.
acid in the civet cat's digestive system that changes the
Are them
nature
cats?
of the bean.
Do them cats look like they're on acid, all just freaked out with all that caffeine? We call them animals got them big eyes, wally bat. We call them things. They're like, do them things that eat they run around all spaced out? You
I
reckon?
don't think so. I've not seen
civets
that.
are nocturnal.
Yeah.
Well, they have to be. Drink that coffee. Hell, they ain't never going to sleep. So, I mean, that'd be pretty cool to try. I mean, I just don't want to talk about it while I'm drinking it. I don't, strain that through a cat.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to let y'all go. Tess, what else we want to talk about?
Well, I asked you who your listeners were, and it's interesting. I want to make sure I mention that if there's a single lady that's sitting in her living room right now going, well, I would never, I'd be too scared to go there, and I don't know those people. We encourage you to go with us and,
Now,
consider it.
I want you to keep your thought, but let me get back on it. I've been just laughing about this lake. I've been all around the world myself. It's not that bad. I mean, her to step over Fer de Lance is rare. That's not going to happen.
No.
She was probably where she shouldn't have been, doing something she shouldn't have been doing. Because the average person probably drinking
I was
that
in
damn,
a river at night.
drinking that cat crap coffee. Her eyes that big around. She'd run through the jungle. But if there's something you want to do, the prices are cheap, and you get to learn, see the world, and help somebody, because we're all in this old world together. You'll meet some people down there, and wherever you want to go with this group, I highly suggest you do it. I'm considering it. I want to go over there with Ricky and wear a kilt like he does, and just hang out with a kilt. I want one of them big old swords too.
Listen, when I come back, I'm going to show with that kilt.
I want to see that kilt.
You know what? We may come back and do that show.
Okay.
All right, I want to see.
I'm here for it.
I want pictures. Ricky with a kilt. Nothing bent over. Huh? Wear some draws, Billy. Ricky, wear draws. Make sure you run around. Don't run out. Don't go swinging that old draws on. Bend over and pick up some every day. But anyway, I want to make it perfectly clear. I've been jerking on. Say it again, Kevin. Did you say? Yeah. Now 2026. Tell what we got right there.
So we've got some, we've talked about Costa Rica a lot. One of the new domestic programs, and I also want to mention we do serve in our home communities. The scholarship recipients have to do 100 service hours, and 60 of those are in their home community. A lot of times people are like,
if I wanted to go, I'd have to do that?
No, scholarship recipients.
Gotcha.
So we do serve at home and abroad, but we are, like New Orleans, we have Yellowstone National Park coming up in May of 2026, which is going to be incredible. incredibly educational, as you
I've
can
been
imagine.
all over that park. I've hunted all in that
It's my
area.
favorite one. I love it.
I love it. It's beautiful.
And we've talked about Ireland and Scotland, and then we also have a program in Japan, and we have several others that are about to be listed. One is in West Africa, going to Togo, Benin, and Ghana, and we're really, really excited about that one.
Know, is Ukraine? Is that in a?
We don't have one planned for that presently.
Not currently
I
on
know
the
it's
calendar.
in war, but the whole country's not at war.
Right.
That might be something to be interesting.
I know it's a beautiful country.
It
We'd
is
probably
very
wait till
beautiful.
things settle down a little bit.
Yeah. I got a video I want to show right here. Let's pop this video up.
Without the scholarship, my mom wouldn't have been able to pay off all of this. Therefore, I wouldn't have been able to come here. Being with the group and with that scholarship, I was able to get an opportunity that I normally wouldn't have.
That girl right there just kind of said it. Without donors, scholarship, she'd probably never left her hometown. You know, the world is a big place, Ricky, but it's kind of small.
It is. Yeah. It is.
You know, do y'all does it make anything for y'all for somebody to pay to go? Does any of that proceeds kind of come to y'all to help other programs, or just cover costs per person?
No, there are some administrative costs to keep the program
No,
sustainable.
I'm talking about, say if I paid the $3,000 to go, is that all just going to cover me, or is some of that going to go to help y'all?
Sorry, I understand the question now. So you'll see on the website on what he was showing, for some of the ones we have in 2026, you'll see a price for community members and a separate one for students. And on those programs, a portion of those costs do go to support scholarships for students that need that help.
Great. We got any more videos or our pictures we want to show? If we do, pop them up. Let's run through them while we got them. Have we got any more back here, Kevin? Where we at, Ray? Y'all tell me where we're at.
That's one of our Memphis travelers, Jeff Franklin, and that is at a waterfall in Costa Rica. And Stacie actually snapped that from a video. She, as I recall, Stacie took that. She just got a still on it with his hands up in the air.
That's cool.
And he and his wife,
That was right
Christina,
before
were
she
with
was out
us.
in the woods running from snakes, right? Go ahead.
This was actually a really funny day. That's Julie and me in Cuba
In
the
Viñales.
Viñales Valley. That's where we volunteer on an organic vegetable farm out there with the Cuban people. That's a really interesting project that we work on.
And the music school that you saw earlier.
The visas in Cuba are open. I
you
thought
have to
it was,
have a special license, and we qualify for several through Bethel University and through GCAC.
I knew it was kind of. I thought tourists just can't go to Cuba.
You have to be careful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead with the photo.
Yeah. Oh, we're headed to Mexico
To
in this
Oaxaca.
program. To
Yeah.
Oaxaca. We're headed to Oaxaca in this photo. We volunteered with the Women's Cooperative and with the Children's Museum in Oaxaca. So we had a little drum circle. We had some music lessons at the
That's
local
cool.
Children's
cool.
Museum for the kids. And then this is Costa Rica.
It's more fence
fencing.
repair. That's an animal rescue center.
Queuing out to a big snake.
Yes, that's some of the Brewston Hollow Rock students.
Look how much fun they're having.
Yeah, she's
Look.
going to get a snake right there. That's
Yeah.
what I need to get out there. Snakes with a brick.
More of the same.
Yep, same place.
Hell, I don't know if I want to go on. They working out there. Look at that.
We
Ricky.
worked hard on that, and it was in
Is that rain or sweat on that young lady?
It's rain.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I feel
it was
Jesus Christ, she's worked like a mule.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain on that program. Lots of mud. We were building sidewalks so the
Now
people.
they're eating.
One of the things we do on nearly all of our programs is cooking lessons, and that's
like
one of
all
my
that.
very favorite
Well, yeah.
activities.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Look at me and Ricky.
So
You don't think we like cooking?
Yes, we go into the homes of our host and we learn to cook traditional dishes.
Now, some of that traditional stuff, I don't know, man. I've been around some stuff too, but some of it I'll try it, but I don't know.
That's Carson in Columbia. That's Carson Stover working at Bethel
They
Sister
need
School.
Columbia needs a lot of help because they've had those drug gangs have strangled that country. And it's so sad. Such a pretty country. Colombia has got so much to offer, and they've been strangled by that cartel down there.
Yes,
for so
those
many
are
years.
some of the most precious people on
It
the planet.
is. They are, and they're stuck in the middle of it. Go ahead.
So this is the Guatemala program. We work with a local dentist who's a member of the Cumberland Presbyterian Church. We're partnered with Socorro Delgado down there. She's a CP missionary, CP Cumberland Presbyterian.
Dr. Van Dyke, he's an
Yeah.
eye doctor. Y'all familiar with him?
I do
I
know.
know who he is.
He's a friend of mine. He used to go all over fixing eyes and
Yep.
stuff. And he said just doing people that just got cataracts so thick you couldn't see and fixing your eyes. He said it's so wonderful to be able to do that
Yeah.
for people.
It is. So we work with this local dentist, and of course we're not dentists, nor are we dentists in training, but we're able to check for cavities and teach them to properly brush their teeth and make notes and that kind of thing. And what's really cool is that our students are getting some fantastic hands-on experience.
Right.
Gracelyn Eves there, she's actually going to medical school, but we did have participants on this program who wanted to be dentists.
Right.
And so that looks fantastic on their applications to
So
dental
y'all give
school.
them toothbrushes
Yeah.
and toothpaste?
Fluoride.
In fact, Joel
Yeah,
Washburn and the
last year.
Rotary Club
Yeah.
donated
We did.
hundreds and
We
hundreds.
did.
The McKinsey Rotary Club donated hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
We did.
of toothbrushes and
remember.
little travel-sized tubes of toothpaste.
Something
yeah.
that simple.
Yeah.
It's sad.
We can put it to use.
There's
Yep.
y'all's social media page. Tell me about all that.
Well, we
Well,
we have an absolute queen running our social media.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's her birthday
That's
today.
her birthday, so happy birthday, Chandler. Yeah, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. We're
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
yes.
that's cool. That's cool. So we're back to the
So-
Global Ventures Corp.
Yep.
Folks, I'm going to tell you something. That's kind of exciting, and it does a lot. Ricky, it introduces people that, like myself, has seen the bad side of stuff. But you can go down there and see the good side of stuff.
That's
Always.
exactly
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see that the people is okay. We can get along with we can get along with the Russian people, because I've got a Russian friend of mine. Him and I talk about it, and he talks about what's going on in Russia, and he's cool. He kind of takes up a little bit for his homeland, which I would too, but that proves that it ain't the people; it's the damn governments,
No,
man.
the news always focuses on the negative, and
You're right.
Well,
that's
that's what sells.
It sells.
Nobody
exactly.
wants to hear what good
The
Julie's
24-hour
doing.
news will make you
Yep.
depressed.
But there's good people everywhere.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
there is, and there's bad too. But
Yeah.
but we got to understand the world. We're all in this old world together. We got to have laws. We got to have borders. We got to have all that. Sure, we got to have all that. But we also can reach out. The strongest economy in the world, the strongest military in the world, the richest nation in the history of mankind. And there's people over there that a dollar bill could change their life, and that's what's sad. And is there any religion in this? Is there any kind of any church-based or religion-based going on in this?
We're not religious affiliated, but lots of things that we do certainly have similarities with that
Right.
same kind of work,
Right.
going into communities.
Yeah, a lot of people do partner with us and serve and travel with us, and they themselves are on a mission, right?
That's wonderful.
And that's really when I started global studies at Bethel, 15 years ago. The mission on my mind at that time and even today was just to create opportunities for people to love people more.
Yeah, that's cool. You got to have what kind of shots? Can you drink the water down there?
It depends on where you're going.
Which place? Yeah.
Well, anywhere. Hell, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you can in a lot of places that we go. And,
In
and
Costa Rica, you can walk your water bottle right up to the tap at Joel and Jeff and Teresa and Jennifer's house and pour yourself a glass of water.
For people who don't know, that doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with their water. It's just that their bacteria is different than our bacteria. We've got a certain enzymes in our bodies used to our stuff. You go down there, that your body's not used to that.
Right.
It's not that it's bad. Well, unless you go rake out of a damn creek. I'm not saying that. I'm talking
Right.
about tap water can make you sick because it's different germs.
Different tap water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different tap water. Your body's not used to it.
yeah, the places where we stay, though, they're savvy to filtering water.
Yeah.
So we always have clean water where people can
Yeah.
fill their water bottles. And
Filtered water tastes funny, don't it? Really, think about it. If you're drinking some of that bottled water, it's been filtered, been run through the blue lights. Hell, it don't even got no taste. It's just
Reverse osmosis 3 times.
I don't know what that
over.
say that again. Reverse. Water I drink out of a well at my house.
Oh,
And
that's the best kind.
It is good water, but there again, maybe somebody from South America drank my well water and make them sick because it's different stuff in it. And it's not that it's nasty water. Anything else we want to cover before I let y'all ladies go?
You know, I wanted to say that I mentioned the lady living in her living room, but if you know a student that would benefit from this opportunity, high school, junior, senior, college student of any age, point them in our direction, please. Point them to our website. Let them know we exist.
Put that back up one more time if you can.
Yeah, the URL is www.globalcitizenadventurecorps.org. We are a federally approved 501c3. Right. Any donation you make to us
That's what I was gonna say.
is tax deductible.
If you can't go, if you're just decide I can't do that, I don't want to go down there, but you like the idea, open your checkbook. You know, they'll take a check, write them a check.
We will, and if a business wants to sponsor a program, buy supplies. If Pepsi wants to buy supplies for the
What are y'all looking for?
Oh, well, we have a lot of different opportunities
Right now, what's one of the needs that you have that someone could buy and give to y'all to carry down?
They could help cover flights for a program. They could help cover...
to help the needy down there in those countries. That
y'all
don't
in Brazil,
carry nothing with you, that's right.
In Brazil next week, we're collecting items for the women's group I was talking about. So they need larger clothing sizes and hygienic materials, usually coloring books and markers for kids. Those kinds of things are always welcome.
Yeah, we just sent off a big shipment of school supplies to Guatemala, which I told you about. School supplies is always there's always a big need,
we need
for
education.
the school supplies.
We need education.
Yep.
I just want to see these countries because where I've been in my life, they've got natural resources out the gazoo. Yep. They've got good, hardworking people. It's the damn government. I want to see these people prosper. You know, it's got everything it takes. They got the ingredients to make a pie. They just got to put it in the oven, and we need to help them.
Well, I wanted to finish that last statement, Mike. Sorry, too, before we just end. But if you know of that student that's hungry for that kind of opportunity but wouldn't know we exist, and don't just point them in our direction, tell them not to be afraid. That they would be with a group. Like, we take school groups, but we also take individuals.
Oh, it's very safe.
The group we're going with in Brazil next week, there's a girl from Smyrna High School that's going with a whole bunch of people she's never met before.
I guarantee it's safer to go with y'all than it is to go to Nashville.
Well,
they're
that's
dropping
actually
out like flies in Nashville, falling in rivers.
One of the things I use or talk about with the parents of the students who travel, and they ask, is it safe? And I always say the most dangerous part of our program is the drive from your house to the airport in Nashville, I-40. And that's the truth. That's 100% the truth.
I have to agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
With
I agree that. I mean, Nashville, you let your kids go up there during spring break, and you know what's happening in Nashville. It's all around the country. It's going on. And I would feel more better, probably my school child that was in with y'all down in another country that probably them people don't even know what the hell is going on up here.
No, we're very, very safe. And
got
also
lots of safety.
If we have people listening, I know your listeners are all over the place.
Yep.
We do have people that travel from way across the United States. So if we need to coordinate and them not leave from Nashville with us and meet us at a airport in Miami that connects to another flight.
You're very flexible, very fluid.
Yes, we're very flexible, and even from other countries, we've had travelers from other countries.
We have.
All right, girls, I appreciate it. Ladies,
well, thank you for hosting us.
It was very interesting. I learned a lot, Rick.
I think it's very good. You know, when we got to talking about it and I see what their common goal is, I'm more interested. I can say my years out of school like yours, getting me to Costa Rica when I was in high school, it was reading a textbook.
Yeah. Well, growing up, Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom got me through all them countries.
Oh, I love that show.
I love that show.
Yeah, but that was the only thing we saw.
Something we had, and the opportunity to do this. I know $3,000. Mike, you got money. No, I don't. I'm just a poor working man. But it's very economical for what you get. All your accommodations. And I guarantee you, my vacation going in the mountains, I'll spend that. I think it's $1,200 for a darn cabin up there for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
That's relatively cheap. And all the food and flights.
And just the opportunity to get out of the normal, out of the comfort zone, out of the typical zip code. It's life-changing, especially for a young person, but also for an older person that's never done it. So if they're a first-time traveler and they're 70 years old, bring it on. We'd love to provide that opportunity.
Right. We need some labor. Ricky, when you go, what are you going to do when you get over to Ireland? What's your job going to be?
Watch. Watch.
You going to try on a bunch of kilts?
Only for you, Mike. Only for you.
I might go with you and wear me one of them kilts.
Only for you. Only for you,
I'm going to
Mike.
hold up that big sword. What was the name of that show?
Don't have.
Braveheart?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm going to be a Braveheart. That was cool. I like that show. That's pretty cool. All right, folks. We've been sitting there talking with Julie Hill and Stacie Freeman about the Global Citizens Adventure Course. We have all the listings you can, and I'm sure that Dana will tag all this in the comments and all the platforms where you can contact them. Hey, if you've ever thought about it, or if you know someone who wants to, or if you just want to donate, get a hold of them, man. It's a good thing because we're all in this whole world together, and it'd be fun and exciting to be able to go and help other communities and learn. You can learn something from them, but you can teach them too because, they just need a little help. Maybe, or maybe they don't need help. Maybe they just want to learn from you. Maybe they want to see you.
Somebody may want to sponsor a child.
Yeah, you might want to sponsor a child. It's just, all you have to do is just join. Just get a hold of them, find out, and it'll do your heart good. So I appreciate y'all, ladies.
Thank you. We
I enjoyed
appreciate
it.
the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Good meeting y'all. All right, folks, there you go. We've had another good show tonight. We're talking about Global Citizens Adventure Course. And don't forget, next week, we have got some good show coming up. It's Community Week. We're going to look about the Veterans Council coming in. I got Ann Smith and Ronald Doc Taylor. He is from the Tyler, not Taylor, it's Tyler, Tyler, but it's okay. We're going to be talking, he's in the Unforgotten Motorcycle Club. We're going to be talking about what's going on during Veterans Day. Then we're going to head down to Brewston, Tennessee. Got Mayor Robert Keaton and Finance Director Annie Hand coming on. Did you know that has got the city of Brewston is debt-free? That's amazing. Mm-hmm. A city debt-free this day and time. I don't know what the hell she does out there, but she does it. I guess she's got the grip on that thing. But anyway, we're going to talk about Brewston in May coming up. That'll be here for you know it because this is already May. So don't miss that show. It's going to be a good one coming up next Tuesday, May the 13th, 7 p.m. right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. And don't forget my sister show, Good Day Paris. It's every Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. right here on Facebook. Go over and find them, share them, follow them. And they got something exciting to talk about over there. It's a good place to go. Just check them, find them out. Don't forget my good friend Dave Vance over at Tennessee Informer. He's got H.K. Egerton. He's coming on next week. Co-founder of the Black Student Center at the University of Minnesota. He's going to be talking about Southern Truths. A Black Confederate speaks out. That's going to be a pretty interesting show. That'll be Monday, May the 12th, 7 p.m. Central. And Sportscast with Jeremy Bucklew. He's got a Mother's Day special. Got a lot of pretty women coming on. He's got Carrie Jackson, Shannon Osborne, and Renee Lasher. And it's Mother's Day on Sportscast with Jeremy Buckley. Don't miss it. That's a new show we got alongside the Brewer Street Mafia. You'll like it. Tune in to him, follow him, share him, and guaranteed to be something you like if you like sports. Like one of my sponsors said, some in foreign sports, maybe rugby,
Water polo.
Water polo. Yeah, Ricky's going to do a little water polo in his kilt when he's over in Ireland. That's going to be another $100 I get to pay.
He's trying to make money on me right now.
I guarantee I get enough money up. You do water polo.
I can tell you.
I can race
show. You remember the show we done a few weeks ago?
Oh yeah,
with the video.
Yeah,
there's people won't. No. No.
Well, I tried. All right, folks, we got about the end of my promo. Don't forget, May the 17th, Per Your Day Tug of War is coming up. Hey, I'm going to MC the Tug of War. I've got the Henry County Sheriff's Department taking on the Parish Police Department in the Tug of War. That's going to be cool. It's coming on May the 17th at Per Your Day right here. You don't want to miss it. We're going to start at 12 noon. I'm calling it the shootout at 12 noon. You can't miss that. Henry County Sheriff's Department, plus other groups. We got all kind of tug of war groups going on. I think Ricky Price is taking on who? Who are you taking on?
The seat.
Ricky's going to do a little mechanic where he's going to put a rear end in a seat.
That's right.
In a recliner.
In the seat. That's
right.
He's
going to put a rear end in a recliner. That's coming up May the 17th at Per Your Day. Don't miss it. We'll be MCing. It'll be a fun time for everyone. Don't forget, Between the Rivers, Dinner on the Ground, their fish fries coming up Sunday, May the 18th. You can get your tickets. I don't know if you can get them at the door. I would assume you could.
I wouldn't wait.
I wouldn't wait because they'll probably sell out. That's right. Find out how to call 270-924-2077. Pay over phone and pick up tickets at the door. That's what you got to do. Go have some catfishing. Help them take care of our LBL. You won't miss it. Go ahead. All right, folks. I want to congratulate. She rolling back down somewhere. Zachary Burton. He won the Pepsi Mid-America Orange Crush Beach Style Ice Cream Scoop Cutting Board 12-pack of root beer and a root beer bag, because summer's on the way, and who don't like a root beer float? Hell, that's pretty good stuff, Ricky. Appreciate you, brother.
Always a pleasure, Mike.
Pepsi Mid-America takes care of us right here. Don't forget, I want to thank my group in the back, Kevin Keel, Scott Norwood, Billy Busey, and Dana Allen, because without them, I couldn't do what I do. They do all the hard work. I just sit up here and I can't say look good. I mean, I don't know what the hell I can say. I mean, I don't know what I do. I just sit here and
talking about fighting snakes.
Yeah, I talk about snakes. That's not my job. Big snakes too, big ones. They're about that long, got a head on both ends. So that's the ones I talk about. But anyway, tune in next week, same time, same place. Y'all girls help me out here. And like I say every time, don't be late. The Mike Weatherford Show is recorded live in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios, downtown Paris. A Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia production.